In this video, I'm going to go over some of the problems from the extra review number 2. Remember, this is due by Friday, and you're going to turn it in to teacher in person on a paper. Do not submit online. You're going to submit it in class. Please make sure you show all necessary work, check answers with the answer key, and fix any mistakes or incorrect answers. I'm going to go over starting with some problems with equations. Number 4. Number 4 involves fractions with denominators. So first, what you want to do is get rid of the denominators. And what you want to do is by finding out the common multiple, the LCM of 4 and 5. What is the multiple that 4 and 5 have in common? For example, 4 is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and so on. These are the multiples of 4. Multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and so on. And I see that the common multiple they have, the smallest common multiple is 20. They both have 20 in common. Therefore, I can multiply both sides of the equation by 20. And this is going to help me get rid of denominator. Okay. So let's do it. You need to multiply everything by 20. So 20 times 2 is 40. Then 20 times x over 4. It's going to be minus 20x over 4 equals 20 times 3 is 60. So 60 over 5. Now I'm going to simplify everything because then this is going to get rid of the denominator. 40 minus, here 20 over 4 is 20 divided by 4, which is going to be 5. So I'm left with 5x. 60 divided by 5 is 12, so I'm just left with 12. And solve it from here. Subtract 40 both sides. Negative 5x is equal to negative 28. Because 40 minus 12 is 28, and now you're subtracting 12 and a 40, so it's going to be negative, right? Divide both sides by negative 5. I get x equals negative 28 over negative 5, which is the same thing as positive 28 over 5. That's your solution. Okay. Now, moving on to some exponent problems. Exponents. I'm going to start with number 7. Remember, when you have an exponent on top of exponent like this, you can multiply these exponents together so you get x to the 8th power. Okay, so then I'm going to multiply these exponents together. That's x to the power of negative 5. And then over here, same thing, I'm going to multiply these exponents together. Well, 7 doesn't have an exponent, so that means you're just going to have to carry the 2 on top of 7, which means you're going to get 7 squared. You're going to carry the exponent of 2 on top of 7, so 7 squared. But then for the x, you should multiply the exponent, so that's x to the power of 8. Okay. So now 7 squared is 49. And I have x to the negative 5 times x to the power of 8. Now this is having x squared times x to the 4th, where you can just add the exponents together. So you can add these exponents together. And your final answer is going to be 49 and x to the power of 3. That's the final answer. So number 8, you can do something very similar to number 7. Very, very similar. This time you got 2 here, so you're going to carry the 2 on top of 3. But then multiply the 2 to the negative 2 for the exponent in b. So here's what it's going to look like. You have 3 raised to power of exponent 2. Carry it over. As for the b, now you're going to multiply the b to the power of negative 2 with power of 2 here. So then b with negative 4. Okay, so again, carry the 2 on top of 3, so 3 square. But this 2 is now being multiplied to negative 2 for the b. So then the second part. Now you don't have any number, you're just going to now multiply all the exponents together. So I have a to the power of 6, b to the power of 12. 3 squared is 9. Okay. And I have b to the power of negative 4, all multiply with a and b. This together, I have b to the negative 4 times b to the 14th. I can add the exponents together. And that gives me b to the 10th. So then 9 times a to the 6th times b to the 10th as a final answer. Okay. Number 9. I'm going to work inside the parenthesis first. So I see that k to the negative 2nd is in the denominator. So let's review negative exponents again. If you have 2 to the power of negative 1, okay, if you have it in the numerator, what happens is that you are going to be moving the 2, because it has a negative exponent, to the other side. That's what happens with negative exponent. You can move it to the other side. So then you have 1 on the top, but the 2 to the negative first power allows me to put 2 in the denominator, but then the exponent turns into a positive. So this is equal to 1/2. Again, if you have 3 to the power of negative 2nd over 1, this negative exponent on top of 3, now you can move it to the other side. So then you got 3 in the denominator, but the exponent turns into a positive 2. And that's equal to 1/9. This time, it's different. What if you have 1/3 to negative 2nd? Well, what if it was in the denominator? Same thing. Move this to the other side. This time, move it to the numerator. So you have 3 on the top, but 1 in the denominator. And then the exponent of negative 2 turns into a positive. And the answer is 9. So coming back to the problem, you have k to the negative 2nd in the denominator. You're going to move that to the other side, numerator. You got 2k to the 3rd. And then k to the negative 2nd power, you're going to move it to the other side. So k on the top with exponent of negative 2 turns into a positive 2. The denominator just 3. Okay. So then still copy the problem. You got parentheses with negative 2. We only did inside the parentheses, so keep it the same. Now I can add these two exponents together. So I got 2k to the 5th all over 3 raised to power of negative 2. And now here's the interesting part. You have parentheses around this entire fraction with the negative exponent. And the rule with negative exponent is to flip. Flip or move it to the other side. So then this whole thing is going to move bottom. This 3 is going to move to the numerator. You're just going to move everything because the entire fraction raised to a power of negative. So then 3 goes to the top. 2k to the 5th power moves to the bottom. And again, that's because of this negative exponent. So then now I'm going to raise it to the power of positive 2. Because always, whenever you flip it, Now the exponent turns to a positive. So then 3 raised to the power of 2. And then now 2 raised to the power of 2. And then 2 multiplied with the 5, you're going to get k to the power of 10th. That's 9 over 4 times k to the 10th power as your final answer.